What's going on, everybody? It is New Comic Book Day. It is another large new comic book day. I'm going to show you guys what I picked up this week. Going to run down everything from Ablaze to Marvel to Vault. We've got a lot of stuff this week from different publishers. More DC books than I've ever picked up in a week, I think. And some trade paperbacks even this week that I got. So lots of things to read. Lots of things to show you guys, and we'll get into that in just a second. But if you are new here, haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button down below. And there's a bell notification button that's going to appear next to that once you're subscribed. Please press that too so you'll know when we're dropping new videos. We're getting close, very, very close to 1,000 subscribers, and when we hit that point, we've got some pretty cool giveaways to do with you guys, to give you guys some stuff, give back to the community who has been supporting us in the channel and watching our videos. So thank you guys, thank all of you who are here watching this right now. We really, really appreciate it. We're aiming to get back to doing some more interviews coming up, talking more about comics. We just got to actually set our schedules and get things going again. But while we're going through things, go ahead and let me know down below in the comments what you picked up this week for New Comic Book Day, and drop a like on this video. Alright, welcome back everybody. I'm going to kick this off in alphabetical order by publisher. The books might not be in alphabetical order, but we're going to start out with Ablaze Comics. This one is Laura, issue number 1. This one is from Guillaume March, the creator of Carmen. This one he made before Carmen. So you can definitely tell the art is different style of art in here. But I'm hoping for just as amazing and beautiful of a story as we had in Carmen. So it says it's Laura and other stories, so we'll see how that plays in, if there's backup stories in here or what the case is. It looks like porcelain in the back. I think so far what I'm seeing is this is just Laura in this one anyways. So I'm definitely going to want to review this one if this is as awesome as I think it's going to be, just like Carmen. Guillaume March also did the art on Batman and the Joker, so definitely some great art from him over the last little bit, and great stories that he's put out. So very excited to check this one out. Next up, we've got some Aftershock Comics books here. We'll start out with we'll try to get this in alphabetical, but After Dark, a horror anthology from Aftershock. Here is a one-shot with stories from Jim Starlin, Frank Thierry, Colin Bunn, Joe Pruitt, Cliff Richards, Simon Kudransky, Joe Eastma, and Nicole Jelinek. I believe it's 4 stories. That's the writers and then artists of each of them. I'm very excited to check this out. Different horror stories. I know this was planned to come out before Halloween, but printing issues prevented it from getting out on time. But still in the spooky season, so I'm ready to enjoy a little bit of a horror story. We also have Campisi, the Dragon Incident number 3. I've been loving every second of this. There's some nice subtle comedy in here. There's a little bit of a gang story, and then we throw in the fantasy with the dragon. So it's got a lot of things to love, and it's James Patrick, creator of Kaiju Score as well. He's doing a great job with that kind of thing, and this I believe is only 4 issues long, so we're at the 3rd of 4th issues, so we're almost done with that one. And I just said Colin Bunn, I think over here on After Dark I did, and here's Colin Bunn again for The Heathens number 1 from Aftershock. Essentially, we got a pirate story, we got people coming back from the dead kind of story, fighting their way out of hell. Heath Amodio is co-writing this with Colin Bunn, and we have Sammy Cavella on the art. Very excited for this one. Colin Bunn's just been absolutely killing it across the board, and this is no exception to that. I have another Cullen Bunn book in this stack still to get to, so we'll talk about that one when we get there. But we have a last issue here from Aftershock, Out of Body number 5. This one from Peter Milligan and Inaki Miranda. Can't wait to see how this wraps up. It's been a great story as well. You definitely notice the difference in some of these covers. Campisi always says it has a cardstock cover. It looks like Heathens has a cardstock as well. And then you get to Out of Body and it's just flopping around here. But that still feels higher quality than we're getting from some other publishers. So just throwing that out there. Let's see, we got cover C, cover B, and cover A here. We got Turbo Kid, Apple's Lost Adventure, number 2. I got the cover A, the cover B, and the cover C here. I love the movie that this comes from. This is essentially a couple hours before Apple enters the movie, and the art on this was super cool. In the first issue, we got essentially the storyboard and I think the writers of the movie doing this. So great team here putting together the essential prequel for Apple. Cool back cover as well here. It's on all of them. And I didn't pick this up last week because last week was so big. But I got it this week, and here is from issue number 1, the signed variant for it, which is super cool. So shout out to the team that put this together. Shout out to Happy Tank Comics, Behemoth Comics, for bringing this to life in comic form, and Turbo Kid's going to have a whole enterprise coming, so keep an eye on that. If you love a little bit of a nod to the 90s, 80s nostalgia, go ahead and check out Turbo Kid. Super cool movie, and then comic too. And then next up we got from Black Mask Studios, Destiny New York number 7 from Pat Shand and Rosi Comp. I'm just loving this universe, the world that's been created here by Pat, and all the different characters that come to play such a big role in this story is phenomenal. And on top of all that, there's magic in the world. So how can you not love a story that has magic? That's it for Black Mask this week. So moving over, we've got Dark Horse Comics, The Last Flight Out, number 3 of 6. I don't know what other twists and turns are going to throw at us, but issue 2 left us on a great twist. We know that the guy who essentially created the way off of Earth for everybody, because the world is dying, he's trying to get his daughter. He's lost contact with her and trying to get her so that he can get on the last flight out and leave Earth. He goes with essentially a military team to do that. They come across some complications, and they do. Not going to spoil things, but the daughter is found, and more complications arise in the last issue, and that's where we get left off. So, it's going to be interesting to see where this goes from here. Our other Dark Horse book this week is Lucky Devil number 4 from Cullen Bunn. There he is again. But this is the last issue, I believe, for Lucky Devil. So I can't wait to see how this wraps up. He should be facing the forces of hell in this one, as he's trying to hold on to these powers that he accidentally kept from a demon. Crazy story so far, and it's going to be interesting to see how that wraps up, like I said, in this issue. So that's two stories ending this week, which for my pool list is excellent. That frees up some space. Unfortunately, I picked up some number 1s this week, so we'll see which of those number 1s stay on the pool list. One of them that probably will be is this one right here, Dark Knights of Steel, number 1 from DC Comics. This one from Tom Taylor and Yasmin Putri. Just already read this one because I was very curious as to how this was going to go, and it's phenomenal. It is absolutely what I was hoping for from this story, with nods to the real DC Universe characters happening all throughout this. I'm very much enjoying what this is setting up right here in issue number 1. So we'll see if it maintains that level of fun in the fantasy world. Some interesting changes to relationships of characters in this world, but you gotta throw something different in there when you have a huge shift in what happened when Superman's world was dying. Essentially, the what if moment is, what if instead of Superman already being born and he gets put into the ship and sent off on his own, what if he's not born and his parents get into the ship? What happens then? When does he arrive time-wise? What does that do to everybody else in the world, in the universe? So that's what we're looking at there. And it's a cool fantasy story so far, off of issue number 1. Next up, I have DC Horror Presents Soul Plumber, number 2 of 6 here. Issue 1 was kind of fun. I figured I'd give issue 2 a chance, and we'll see from there. I'm usually pretty good about 2 to 3 issues trying it out, but so far I'm kind of enjoying that one. Let's just throw in another number 1, because why not? The Human Target, number 1 from Tom King and Greg Smallwood. I've not really read anything else from Tom King since The Visions, and I really enjoyed The Visions. I hear a lot of people say great things about Tom King, so here I am giving this one a shot here. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this is going to be for me, but it is a number 1. I'm going to give it a try if I like it. It's a 12-issue series, I believe. Just like Dark Knights of Steel is a 12-issue series, so I might be reading those together. We'll see. It's something I definitely am hoping to like, though. And like I said, it's a big DC week, so that's 3 DC books already. And here's a 4th one, Arkham City, The Order of the World, number 2 of 6 here, from Dan Waters and Danny. Just really enjoyed issue number 1 of this, and Danny's art works very well for this style of story that's being told here. It's a great, gritty, abstract vibe going on with the art, and very much enjoyed seeing that in issue number 1. So there's issue number 2. And of course, Batman, number 116 from James Tynion and Jorge Jimenez. Just doing an excellent job with this story. This is the second to last issue of Tynion's run on Batman, which means we should be getting close to the end of Fear State. I've not been reading any of the other tie-ins, really. I did read the Miracle Molly issue, but other than that, I've just been sticking to the Batman story and enjoying what I'm reading. That is it for DC. That's 5 books for DC, which is way more. It's 5 more than I usually get. But let's move into Image Comics, where I got some number 1s. A Thing Called Truth, number 1. I wasn't sure that I was going to pick this one up. Like you saw, it did not make my top 10 picks, but I flipped it open in the shop, and it just looks like a lot of fun. This one is from Yolanda Zanfardino. That is the writer, letterer, and artist of cover B. Elisa Romboli is the artist and the artist of cover A here. I just love a good title on a page like that. We Only Find Them When They're Dead does that super well, and so I think that was the other piece that got me to say, all right, let's check this out. Another one from Image that I wasn't sure about, but I did see some people talking to Chip Zdarsky and Jacob Phillips about this and said, all right, let's give it a shot. Sounds pretty interesting. That's New Burn, number 1 here. I love Chip Zdarsky's writing, so this probably will be something that I like. The only thing that I'm not sure of is the genre is not something I'm super big on, the detective kind of story, so I'll give it a shot, though. It's a number 1. That's, I don't know how many number 1s already this week. 4? 5? 6? Somewhere around there. And why not throw another one into it? The Magic Order 2, number 1. I just recently got to read through the Magic Order Volume 1. Really loved it. I don't know where else this is going to go now, because that was an epic twist that they had in Volume 1. So what else can you do once you've done a lot like that? We shall see. But yeah, Mark Millar and Stuart Immonen doing this one. Keep an image going. We got Firepower number 17 this week. Robert Kirkman, Chris Samney. Just one that's just a solid read every week. It's never my top book. It's never my bottom book. It's always right there. Solid story every week that I always am enjoying checking out and reading. And then this one, Cover B came out last week for Two Moons, and I didn't realize it was Cover B. I was like, why did this not get put into my pool box? Here's Two Moons on the shelf. So I have read this one already. This is the Cover A that actually came out this week. So weird printer delays where one cover's coming out but not the other. Radiant Black onto issue number 9 here with an interesting cover. Kind of reminiscent of the Spider-Man cover from Secret Wars with Peter and Miles. So I'm wondering if there's some kind of handoff between the two of them there. I don't know what we're going to find going on here, but it's, again, another solid read every week. So it's on the list now, or still on the list. Inkblot's back, issue number 13. This one, always my fun read. So anytime I read something dark, gritty, depressing, anything like that, I'd pick this up next because I just love it. It's fun. That's what this one is. So Inkblot on to issue number 13, which means we're going to have at least through 18. Because I did 2 volumes so far. This is volume 3 starting out here. Frontiersman, issue number 2. Like I said, I picked up Frontiersman number 1 late. Wow, that is a cool wraparound cover there. But this issue, from what I understand, is just phenomenal. And so it got me to go pick up issue number 1, even though I had not read any of it. I just knew what was going to happen in issue 2, and that got me to go pick up issue number 1. And now I'm on. The Me You Love in the Dark, issue number 4. I think it's of 5, if I'm not mistaken. So 4 of 5. This I've read this one. This is the first book I read this week. And I knew it was coming. It gets dark. It gets very, very dark in this issue. And that's all I'm going to say. No spoilers, but phenomenally dark. Next up, we have Marvel Comics. We've got Strange Academy presents The Death of Doctor Strange, a one-shot here tying into the death of Doctor Strange. Looks like Mike Del Mundo is actually doing the art on this one instead of Ramos, who usually does the art. So that's interesting. A different style on the interiors, which is pretty cool. I think Strange Academy number 13 comes out next week. But we'll see what implications this ends up having for our Strange Academy team going into the next issue, if any. And then there's a cover B here that I picked up as well. I pick up everything Strange Academy, so all the covers that come out. That must be it's a Ramos and Delgado variant for it. So interesting. He was able to do that. And then Peach Momoko doing a variant cover as well. Which that one I do enjoy. I enjoy what's going on here, but that also seems to imply Venom's involved somehow. So we'll see what happens in this story. It could just be some other dark creature that pops up. Next up, we've got Oni Press, issue 2 of Dirtbag Rapture from, who's the team on this one? Christopher Sabella, Kendall Good, Gab Contreras, and Jim Campbell. Issue number 2, subtitled, If There Are Gods, They Must Be Drunk. This was a fun first issue read. Lots of text, though, so if you're not a fan of that, probably not for you. Coming down the stretch here, we've got Scout Comics By the Horns number 7. Highly recommend you guys check out By the Horns. It's not a unicorn story. It is a fantasy story, a story about fighting magicians. There are unicorns involved in it, but this story is amazing, and you should go check it out. Definitely like what they've set up here in issue 7, and there's a freaking incredible twist at the end of this, so be sure to go and check this out. Then we got Joseph Schmalke's Cherry Blackbird, issue number 4. I don't know how many issues this is planned to be. I'm thinking 5 or 6, but it could be 4 because they have been doing some 4-issue arcs with Scout and Black Caravan things. So there's no telling. There's no telling what it could be. But yeah, Cherry Blackbird's been very interesting. Of course, we have it in a polybag here because of the fact that there is mature content on the interiors. So that is one thing you'll notice with all the issues of this. And it looks like it is 4 of 5. So one more issue coming out later this month here. And then we've got 2 things from Vault this week. We have The Rush, number 1, another number 1 this week. This hungry earth reddens under snow-clad hills. The Rush. Interiors are looking like it sounds like the era of when the story should take place would be, which is pretty interesting. I like when that kind of thing happens. The lettering matches that too. So definitely excited to check this out. I did pick up the Martin Simmons variant here, the cover B, and then the 1 in 5 variant. I believe this was Tim Daniel who did the variant here. Cover C, 1 in 5. The other Vault book this week is The Blue Flame, issue number 5, which again is one I'm like, is this one ended here? It has been a little while since The Blue Flame came out, so I might need to refresh myself on what's going on in the story. Of course, Previews World doesn't like when you use the. There's apparently going to be at least 7 issues of this. It looks like I don't know if 7 is going to be the last one. This is coming out in January. It's the last one solicited so far, but it's not sounding like that'll be the last one. So it's still going. We just had a big break after 4. Let's see, 4 came out. Yeah, end of August we had issue 4 come out for the Blue Flame, and now it's been over 2 months since that issue. So last up are some trade paperbacks that I picked up. I got Die volume number 4 here. I haven't wanted to crack open my issues of Die because they're just so beautiful, but here we are. I will finally finish reading Die with this right here. I am super excited. Kieran Gillen, Stephanie Hans have done such an excellent job with this story, and Clayton Cowles on the letters as well. Keeping things very tonally appropriate, it felt like, with the lettering. I partially was also waiting for this because I didn't want Die to end. But here it is. Here is the end of Die. I will save that for last of everything I've got here, but it's probably going to get read sometime in the next week or two, so I'm very much looking forward to it and not. Something else I picked up, this is a original graphic novel from Vault Comics, from let's see who the full team is here. Joe Harris is the writer. Megan Hutchinson Cates is the artist. Kelly Fitzpatrick on colors. Tom Muller on design. Michael David Thomas on letters. And Shauna Gore is the editor for us. It's a complete series. It says originally published as Rockstars 1 through 10. I believe Image was putting out the original story for this, if I'm not mistaken. And so I don't know how Vault ended up with it, and maybe it never got collected, and so they bought the rights. I'm not sure. But when the music scene murders start happening again, Jackie Mayer is ready. He knows the secrets of the past, or at least he thinks he does. But the gods of rock are darker than he thought, and the conspiracy he uncovers is more insidious than he could have imagined. They sold their souls for rock and roll. Music, murder, magic, and mayhem. So this is the complete series of Rockstars. And this one's been actually in my box since last week. This is Mimetic from James Tynion and Eric Donovan with colors by Adam Guzowski. The back cover has a code there, to the QR code to scan, but it's got like concentric circles, which is pretty cool, just like the front, where I swear I am definitely getting hypnotized by a sloth. So looking forward to checking that out. It's earlier Tynion work. I don't know if we have a published date. This is from Boom Studios. This is 2017. Okay. So this is number 1 through 3 of Mimetic. Does the 2014? 2014 is the original date, it looks like. So earlier than I was reading. It was nominated for the 2015 GLAAD Award for Outstanding Comic Book. So it was one that I've been looking forward to reading from my backlog of James Tynion books to check out. So that is the large haul for this week. Thank you guys for watching. Of course, like I said before, if you made it here, aren't subscribed, go hit that button. We are getting very, very close to 1K, and we want to give you guys some stuff. So go tell everyone to subscribe. Get your friends, your mom, your brother, sister, cousin, aunt, uncle, everybody. Tell them to subscribe. Get them watching the videos, and yeah, maybe they can help you win if they join in on the live show when we do that. So thank you guys, of course, for watching. As always, collect what you love, and see you next time.